want to be in people's feeds constantly,
right?
So that they are constantly thinking about you.
I don't want people always thinking about me.
I would almost rather not do it and have to come up with something else to do.
That's
than
what
to have to do that.
That's what I say too.
Today on the show, Jordan and I have been doing YouTube for nearly 20 years now, and in this episode we ended up having a really interesting conversation about whether or not YouTube is still healthy for us, given how much it has changed and how much we have changed in the last 20 years. Stick around for that. And what do you do when you found out that your dad cheated on your mom? Can these guys ever change?
Plus, we do a deep dive on the psychology of the unspoken prayer request and decide once and for all, are they cheap attention grabs?
All this and more on episode
38
of the Blimey Cow podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blimey Cow podcast. Every Friday, we try to make the world a little less messy. We have a great show for you today. Jordan's going to rant about the NFL. I'm going to rant about this obnoxious TikTok, Instagram editing trend that I hate so much. And we are also going to talk about whether or not memes are just propaganda.
Interesting.
It's going to be a great show. Anyway, my name is Josh.
And I'm Jordan. Comment below with your answer to this week's question. Would you give up your, what is it, Josh? Would you give
right to vote.
Would you give up your right to vote if it meant that you would have better leadership in the country?
And hey, if you want a free Blimey Cow shirt, then head over to supportblimeycow.com. We just switched away from Patreon and onto our own website for crowdfunding, but it's more than support for us. It's an online community for you. So if you join today, you get a free Blimey Cow shirt as our way of saying thank you. Supporting us now gets you an extended version of the podcast too. So head over to supportblimeycow.com.
And don't forget to check out our beloved Clips channel. Everything you love about the podcast without the time commitment. Help us get to 900 subscribers. We're almost there. YouTube.com/BlimeyCow at Blimey Cow.
At Blimey Cow Clips. Finally, check out our online homeschooling community, homeschoolwithus.com. For $3 a month, you too can homeschool with us. At Homeschool With Us, you'll find love, support, and encouragement on the homeschooling journey. So head over to homeschoolwithus.com to join the best homeschooling community on the internet. Okay, Jordan. You were very frustrated about the NFL, it sounds like.
It was an epiphany that I had.
All right, let's go ahead and head to the top stories.
So, Josh, knowing that people aren't honest, okay, especially like corporations where they're just trying to figure out a way to make the most profit. With their business.
Yes.
Okay, we're sitting here watching sports. We're watching the Titans play, and we think, okay, well, the NFL is unbiased. It's just there's guys out on the field.
It's not a game, it's a business, is what you're saying.
Yes. They would have to be idiots for the thought to never go through their mind of, we're hiring the refs. Could we just tell them, hey, just go a little bit harder on Baltimore? On the Baltimore Ravens this game, because we really, it would be great. We would make hundreds of millions more probably if we could get Taylor Swift and her boyfriend at the Super Bowl and get all those extra viewers. Like that is ideal.
Are they? Because I haven't watched any.
Yeah.
Are they just going to reaction shots of Taylor Swift all the time?
It happens a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
I was surprised last night. I don't watch the NFL much anymore, but last night when I was at Mom and Dad's and I was watching it, I didn't see them cut to her like the entire time. No, I wasn't watching the entire game. I was just talking to Dad and then watching. So maybe they were going to it more, but I thought they would cut to her more. I was like, maybe she's not at this game. Okay. So maybe there's a bit of a hype with that, Josh. But there are a lot of people that are tuning in to watch her. But after the game, it was this big scene. Kelsey goes up, and her and Taylor Swift make out on camera in the middle of the field. And it was this, everyone's talking about it. Everybody loves it so much. It's so amazing. And then you have the NFL fans who are like having this epiphany, who are like, wait a minute. This game felt rigged. And not that it was actually rigged where they said you will win, you will lose, but that they say, hey, refs, we hire you. Call a little bit more pass interference, which can hugely make or break a game, pass interference calls.
Right.
Call a little bit more and be a little bit more lenient on Kansas City.
They got the outcome they wanted.
Yes. They would have to be idiots to not have in their mind an outcome that they want to happen so they can make $50, $60, $100 million more.
I mean, having T Swift reaction shots at the Super Bowl, that's going to be worth quite a bit more viewership of people paying attention. I mean, that's sad that it's true, but
it was really the first time that I saw on, Twitter that people were like, wow, it actually does feel rigged. Like it felt like maybe on both sides too. It was just it just felt
really?
weird.
Even the Chiefs fans were saying they thought it was rigged?
I don't know, maybe not. But I feel like anybody who was objectively watching that game, it felt weird.
I would imagine the Chiefs fans are probably pretty annoyed about the situation too, though.
Yeah, because probably Taylor Swift is getting more accolades than Patrick Mahomes. Like they're like Kelsey and Taylor Swift kissing is like the top picture, even though Patrick Mahomes, playing a great game and everything, and then he doesn't even get on the he's probably furious. Front page of these newspapers.
I can't imagine having a relationship be like a news story. That just seems so.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if I was a famous person and I was dating another famous person, I would be like, look, the only way we're going to do this is if we don't talk about it. We don't see each other in public. Because it's like, I don't know. And maybe when you're a public figure like that, you're used to having all that attention on you, but it just doesn't feel, it feels so plastic or something. It feels so fake. Like, oh, look, now she's coming down and now we're going to kiss on camera and it's all, we got all these people we're famous. I don't know.
And then but then it's dumb because then they, in my mind are lying and trying to be like, oh, we don't want the cameras to film us. So it's like, no, you do. That's why you're out on the field and you're going to kiss each other.
Right.
This was not an organic moment that happened in my mind. This was something that I feel like with these people, everything's calculated. It's all some manager somewhere is like, hey, you guys need to do this and be here and everything. It just feels so fake. But people are both eating it up, and then the NFL fans across the board, even if you're a Kansas City fan, probably are just like, what is going on? What is happening?
I think the NFL kind of fell into a situation and are very happy to be navigating it now.
Josh, I think it's all. I think they have these people be in relationships. I actually do.
But why Taylor Swift worth $1 billion? Why is she just like hooked up with the NFL?
I don't know. I don't know these people. It just feels weird. This doesn't feel organic, is what I'm saying. This just feels like a weird thing that's happening. And also, Kelsey being like the Moderna poster child. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't take much of a conspiracy theorist to be like, hey, because Kelsey's like one of the most popular players in the league.
Okay.
And then Taylor Swift is the most popular person in the world.
Right. I did read, Jordan, that they did a poll and 1 in 5 people would take Taylor Swift's advice about who she was going to vote for.
That's what's going to happen on the NFL. And I will predict to you what's going to happen. And I'm sure other people have said this, but the NFL and the government they've got to be in on this.
They're like, look, we got the guys with the football and the girls with the pop music.
We're going to have them come together. They're going to win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. And then soon after that, then they will endorse whoever, Biden or Michelle, for president. I'm telling you, mark my words. That's what's going to happen. That's what the whole point of this is.
All right. Our next top story is just a little update on our supporter community.
Yes, more of a lighthearted. Josh, very lighthearted.
So last week we announced the beginning of our switch from Patreon over to our own website, which is now redirecting. So when you go to supportblimeycow.com, it does not take you to Patreon anymore. It takes you to our website, where you can join our supporter community.
Very cool.
And we had beyond my wildest hopes. I remember thinking, I don't want to have expectations about this, but I remember thinking, if we got to 200 people, that would be, I don't even know what I would do. We are going to get to 200 people. We're at about like 175 right now.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
A lot of people have been on there, and you had like a questionnaire thing for them to fill out.
Yeah.
Where they say, little factoids about themselves, just for people to get to know them. And it was a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people. I was trying to go through and read all of them.
Man.
It was hard to read all of them because there were so many.
Yeah. There really were. I'm so excited. So thank you. If you're watching this and you joined already, thank you. And if you are new around here and you want to join our supporter community, it's $5 a month. And right now, if you join, we're going to send you a free Blimey Cow t-shirt. All right?
That's right. It's a great deal.
So
very cool.
Yeah. And we've really simplified things, and we're going to have a really good 2024. So I really think that you would enjoy being there. I've got that good community energy back that we had for so many years, and then just this last couple of years have been crazy, and so I'm excited to kind of refocus and get everything going again. So support BlimeyCow.com. Go check it out. Thank you to everybody that made the launch so successful. Go get a free t-shirt by joining. Support BlimeyCow.com. Let's do some Christian meme review.
Yay.
Okay, this isn't really a Christian meme, but it kind of is. I think it goes to the decaying society.
What's he doing? Is he running into the door?
Yeah, he's just showing the different generations when they run into something.
It's funny. I just ran into that door today. I couldn't find my phone when I was trying to get here, and so I went back inside. I was like, "Where is my phone?" Oh, and my shoulder hit the wall.
How did you react?
I just kept moving forward.
Okay, so you were born in the 1970s.
That doesn't make sense.
Admiring the awe-inspiring beauty and mystical essence of the liturgy of the Mass. What would I do if an armed intruder crashed into the church right now?
You know why? It's just...
Dude, that's so funny. I was just thinking about this today.
You ran into a wall too?
No, I was in the shower. I heard a child scream, as one does. And I just thought, what if there was like an intruder who broke into this house and just started being a maniac while I'm here in the shower?
Yeah.
I have no way to defend my family.
Completely
I'm
vulnerable.
Completely vulnerable.
That made me laugh so hard.
Good memes this week on the Christian Meme Review podcast special. Let's answer a message.
Dear Jordan and Josh, I have a problem. About a year ago, I found out that my dad had been cheating on my mom. My mom knows about it, but is still staying with him even though he doesn't care. I don't want anything to do with him or to fix our relationship. The way I see it, actions speak louder than words, and even though he says he's sorry, he doesn't act like it. I don't believe him, but people want me to fix things with him. I feel like that should be my decision. What do you think? Do cheaters ever change? Am I being unreasonable? Sincerely confused. That is a bad situation, Josh. There are questions that aren't supposed to be asked in the world that's supposed to not be this way.
Right.
So, yeah, it's
I have a lot of
very
respect.
difficult.
I have a lot of respect for the mom for staying in the relationship. 100% she's staying in the relationship for her kids. What a betrayal. Can you imagine?
What a terrible spot.
Can you imagine how that must feel as a kid? I can't.
Yeah, and then you just want him to be gone, but your mom's like, but it's kind of important to have a dad.
I know.
So
he's like, he's no father of mine.
I don't know what you
Dude.
What does she do? Does the mom just divorce him?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
better?
I don't know.
He's not acting like he's sorry.
Do you think once somebody does something like that, is there redemption? Like realistically, like I'm sure that 1 out of every 1,000 could.
That's what I was gonna say. 1 out of every 1,000, but the 999 others, there's
right. It's just like what's going on in your head that was even a thing that entered your head to do? Not just that you're married, but also that you have children.
Yeah, you
What
think
were
at
you
least
thinking?
that would make you like, if you even had a thought, that would just break that. But who
I
knows?
want to sit here and feel good for half an hour, and that trumps my life.
Yeah,
my
crazy.
kids' lives. It just is so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, how stupid do you have to be?
I don't know. I don't think that she should really spend much time with this guy at this point. Really,
You're right. I always hate these questions. I don't hate the questions. It's frustrating to me that these questions exist.
yeah,
That where the kid has to be more mature than the adult.
yeah. I know.
You know, it's like, so like in actuality, what you say is, look, you need to forgive your father. He's clearly a broken man, and just show him that grace. But he's your dad. He should be teaching you these things, not you teaching him.
Yeah, people like this, you kind of need to just say, look, like, I forgive you, but I don't really want to have anything to do with you. I don't need any input.
I forgive you and I forget you.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately, that's probably what needs to happen. Pretty simple, straightforward answer, Josh.
Yeah.
And she said, "Am I being unreasonable?" I don't think so.
No.
And do cheaters ever change? 1 out of every 1,000, probably.
1 out of
do,
every
so.
1,000.
And
Is
if
your
he's
dad
not,
one of the one?
no, because she's saying he doesn't seem like he cares.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of over with him.
Good on your mom for trying. Maybe the best thing you could do is tell your mom, like, hey, look,
Yeah,
show her where Jesus said adultery.
that's right.
Okay.
You don't have to read between the lines in the Bible on that one.
This is the actual situation.
Yeah, and it works. You can pull this verse out now, and it works.
I don't know. I mean, it's really sad. I can't imagine, like, and then you're having to write off a parent. But
That's how it goes.
I'm sorry. Sorry, confused.
Right back. Let us know if your mom divorces him.
Yeah, let us know what happens. All right. Crazy clip?
Crazy clips.
Filmed over the course of 16 hours and requiring 156 takes, Tobey Maguire did the tray catch scene in Spider-Man without any special effects. What? Are you serious?
That blew my mind.
Wow.
No.
Great reflex.
I think they just sped it up, but
I gotta watch it again.
they clearly sped this up.
It was definitely, now that I look very closely at that, it's 2 takes. You can see, watch right here.
Yeah, his head moves too quickly.
And that's very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty cool.
One of the all-time great films, Spider-Man 1.
The start of the demise of everything.
True enough, but it was enjoyable at that time.
It was. Eagle carrying an entire adult.
No way!
I think the fact checkers fact checked this one that it wasn't actually an adult deer. It was a small other animal. But it's like, okay, who cares? It's a huge animal that this... Whatever. Dude, this is going to disturb you.
This YouTuber went live on accident after announcing their dog died.
Watch this.
I am crying.
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video. Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your
This
mouth.
is terrible, dude.
Let them see your mouth.
No, Mom, I'm actually crying.
Dude,
Look at
this
me, look at
happens
me.
all the time, I bet. Dude, it just keeps going.
No,
it keeps going.
This makes me feel sick. Why would you do that?
Every day in this country.
These kids, I feel nothing for this woman. Oh my gosh. Oh, this just happened a few days ago.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh,
I'm with the times, Josh. I thought Josh is this is gonna ruin his day. So I said, let's put it on the podcast to get his reaction.
dude. What's sad is that to that kid, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's what makes that really sad.
Maybe this is what augmented reality is good for, Josh. Apple Vision Pro. You can clean up the dirt in your house more effectively. It tells you where you vacuumed.
Or you just wait till your carpet is so gross that this is this is just real life.
Self-apparent.
You don't need augmented reality. It's just mounds of dirt. Sure.
This is a little starter drug to get you to go into the Matrix.
I mean, look, nobody is going to use this Vision Pro stuff for like everyday tasks. They're going to use it to watch pornography, and they're going to use it.
I don't know, Josh. I saw it on, they were advertising it during the NFL game last night. The Chiefs Ravens.
Were they?
Yeah, and it was a dad who was wearing it, and his kid walked up and he made a funny face at the kid, and the kid was like, and ran away like it's just normal life.
Like, look, see, you can still be a fun dad.
You can be a fun. That's what it was.
while
telling
you're
me.
wearing this.
And then he was like doing his like working.
That is how they're gonna pitch this
Yeah.
thing. Is like, look, it doesn't have to be a.
You can be a whimsical father.
You're still a fun dad.
Yeah.
Makes me mad. These weren't crazy clips. They were angry clips.
Angry clip.
Angry clips.
Last week's question, I was really trying to get a 33, 33, 33 split because we had 3 answers. Unspoken prayer requests are A, attention grabs, B, fine, or C, completely valid. And I'm very excited to see what this poll is at. Are we even close?
Oof. They're fine, Jordan.
Okay.
56% say they're fine.
You know, I'm going to say something interesting here, though. Clearly, the people that said they're fine, they don't think that they're actually completely valid. So they were too nice to say that they're attention grabs. And the people who said they're attention grabs, they're like, look, I'm so fed up with these fake prayer requests that we're just going to say attention grabs. So the they're fine people, they're a little bit nicer than the attention grab people. The attention grab people are a little bit more realistic and know where they're feeling.
You might have gotten your 50-50 if you just made this an A-B poll. They might have consolidated.
So. Well, the interesting thing is I posted this on Twitter a while ago.
Okay.
To see, and I put 4 options. And Josh, there on that one, it was very close. I didn't make it as dramatic as saying completely valid, so I don't know if that changed it.
Sorry.
But look at this. It was 24, 8, 36, and 30. That's very close. If pointless and attention grabs were together,
Yeah.
that's 33, 33, 33 right there.
Yeah.
I personally think that they can venture off into attention grabs way more than anything else. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to roll your eyes and walk away from this person who did this. It's like, wow, this person is deeply hurting to the point that their best form of trying to get help is to say, I have an unspoken. And some of them, when I was in youth group,
cry for help.
Some was maybe actually a cry for help in some sense, but the person was kind of slightly annoying. Or it was a girl or a guy who was breaking up with somebody and everybody knew it and they were praying for themselves.
I mean, it's just like, hey, in just general, I could use some prayer. I feel like that's a less attention grabby way to say, like, I have an unspoken prayer request.
Yeah.
I have a specific thing, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, look, I need some prayer. Anybody?
Can someone pray for me?
Someone pray for me? Thank you.
It's this little gossip thing.
Yeah, it's like, well,
maybe ask me after youth
Yeah,
group.
exactly. You're just trying to get attention.
Yeah.
The poll is wrong. The poll is wrong. They're cheap attention grabs. If you want to ask for prayer.
Good, we solved that once and for all. So let's go to this week's question. Would you give up, and you came up with this, Josh, would you give up the right to vote if it would improve the quality of leadership? If you knew that for 15 or 20 years, it would improve the leadership and things would actually start getting done and you could basically have a king, what would you do?
I can't wait to hear what people think about this. I think I know what people are going to say, but I don't know.
They'll say, if God is my king.
Still ruled by man, but it would improve the quality of your leadership.
Okay.
Okay?
Interesting question.
I can't wait to see. I'm excited to talk about it next week on the podcast.
Yes.
On episode 39. All right. We had, for the first time, we got an email question for the conspiracy theory section. So let's go to that. Check this out. All right, so we got this email this week. Hey, Josh and Jordan, I had a dangerous thought the other day. Are memes just propaganda? Propaganda in the past was usually consisting of a photo and a statement or a caption, or just a photo or just words. And what are memes? They're the exact same thing. Memes can be used to condition our thoughts and at the very least condition our humor to be society approved, right? Just curious on your take. Thanks, Ella.
That's a great concept. Are these cheap, like these funny? They're funny, Josh. Memes, the political memes that kind of jab at the left and jab at the right, but mainly the ones that go very viral, or the ones that jab at the left. Obviously, those are the ones that go very viral.
Right. There's always the left can't meme.
Yes, that's what, obviously a thing that everybody says. So I have wondered, is it a way, like these memes? They're so funny. But is it a way to kind of divert your attention to not doing anything productive where it's like, oh, yeah, they did this, they do this,
The word isn't, it's not sanitize. That's not the word I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of.
I know what you
but
mean.
it to keep you docile,
Yeah.
to keep you from
Actually doing anything.
Yeah.
It's like you just laugh at it.
haha, yeah.
Yeah,
Good. Somebody's out here saying
Yeah,
it.
we made it. We are winning because this is funny,
Yeah.
but you're not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
You know?
That could
And nobody means to do that. It's not like there's a hired, and I'm sure there is a hired one, but like it's just people like me and you.
Yeah.
But it's like we're just doing it for attention. Where there's not like a greater good. It's like, oh, this will be funny. This will get me some money on X. This will get me some. It's not like no one's doing it because they're trying to do something that's like, oh, I want to show the world. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like this attention economy, as they say.
Yeah. You know, the best twist in 1984 is when you find out that the guy, the 2 minutes hate guy, it's been so long since I've read 1984. I don't remember if they outright say it or if it's just implied that that guy's not real. That the state had created the guy that everybody was supposed to hate so that they had something to point their attention at
Right.
that wasn't the party, that wasn't the state, and you were
Yeah.
supposed to hate this guy. And so you were so busy hating this guy, you couldn't focus on the real enemy.
Yeah, you haven't, and that's almost like how it is now, where you have all these AOC type people, Nancy Pelosi's, but they're just like they're not actually the head honcho people. There's somebody above them who's kind of like pulling the strings. Who's really in charge of the country? You know, I mean, I don't really know, and I feel like everybody's kind of got that suspicion. Like, there's no way that what I'm seeing, this like fumbling kind of person who clearly has problems. There's no way that he's literally running things. Like, who else is doing it?
Right. And you could say the same thing about folks on the Republican side too.
Yeah. But just because they've won, so it point that out.
Right. It's like the people they put out in front are clearly not the ones actually. All these very elderly population that appears to be running Congress and the presidency and all that.
So like the powers that be, they love these memes. They love this stuff because it's like a way that, well, they're not making a meme about like us. They know we know to like we're just giving money to a lot of people. You can't really make a funny joke about that.
Yeah.
These people, Nancy Pelosi saying something dumb, Ted Cruz saying something funny.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it doesn't matter to like, sure, make fun of these people. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, these are just the faces that we put out in front. So just, please focus on them.
Yeah, like it's not actually doing any good.
Yeah.
Maybe it wakes people up, but people are still drinking
Yeah.
their Bud Lights at, the AFC South, the AFC championship game. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that the powers that be, the powers of this present age, I don't think if they had their druthers that memes would exist.
yeah.
Because I think that they, as much as they can harness it for their purposes, I also think that they're kind of powerless to stop them. You know what I mean? And I think that the powers that be want to be able to control things as tightly as possible. So anything that could sort of spread virally, that they don't control the narrative. And that's so maybe that could be a reason why memes are can be a good thing, because it can be a way to spread, if something is just completely ridiculous or whatever, and a meme is a good way to succinctly explain it, then it's like, oh yeah, good. I thought I was the only one who thought that, but this meme explains that I'm not alone. Well,
And it got liked a lot and shared a lot.
Maybe the state wants you to feel isolated.
Yeah.
Like you have to rely on them.
Yeah.
But no, this meme says, "Oh, somebody made this, and a lot of people are sharing it." It's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought experiment.
It is funny that we got this, because I was literally just thinking about this like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Not if it's propaganda, but just like what good is it really doing?
Yeah.
It's fun to laugh, but is it like, I don't know. And it's hard to know because they've been around for so long now that it's hard to know where would we be if they didn't exist.
Right.
Like, they probably have done a lot of good.
Right.
Because it's made people be able to feel together in some way.
Yeah, it's quickly shareable images actually has an impact on society to some degree. Maybe to a degree that we don't quite understand or won't understand until another age or something. I don't know. It's interesting.
Deep thoughts?
Yeah.
Next.
I want to hear what you have to say about
All right.
this.
So when this was obviously a big deal to me that I watched a football game for the first time in like years, literally years. And I thought, all these commercials are playing and stuff. And, you're watching this game, whatever, I don't know. And you're like, what's the impact? I thought, when the majority of our days, our lives, is just spent watching actors acting like other people. You're watching people lie about being something that they're not.
Yeah.
And you're watching people online, like on YouTube and on Instagram and stuff, especially now that X, you're getting paid to tweet anything if you are verified, I assume.
You're creating engagement, you get paid for it.
Then you're just watching people just say stuff for attention so that they can get money.
Yeah.
And that's like that's such a huge economy right now. And that's what a lot of our lives have been for years and years and years since the internet and TV, like streaming services. What's the impact of people over the course of a long time when that's just what you are consuming? That's like the norm.
I mean, certainly before the internet, you weren't consuming. I mean, I guess you watch TV or cable. And maybe you could sit there all day and watch TV, but it was like one thing.
Yeah.
You had one option. It was the television. Now there's just like 1,000, like your phone screen or computer screen, and there's 1,000 different things to choose from there.
I think that's done like just an incredible amount of damage.
Yeah.
That you can't even begin to parse through. Like, and especially for kids growing up now, seeing your parents just constantly intaking stuff and not outpouring much, not really knowing their neighbors. Not really. Like, I mean, when there was TV, you still had, your job where you didn't have headphones, where you could listen to stuff. If you're an employee at Home Depot, the majority of your day was these non-financially promoted or pressured conversations or ideas. It was just two people who are living life, doing things, and they're honestly talking. Now it's like everything is somehow financially incentivized, or you're listening to something from somebody who is wanting money.
Right.
Or doing
constantly.
something. Yeah, constantly.
It
takes up the majority of your day, because if you're not just sitting and like, you don't ever just sit and look outside like you used to. You're always listening to something. You're always watching something. It's always somebody trying to get your attention. And it's normally a bunch of, what people really like to watch, is like just shows, TV shows or Netflix shows or whatever. Just fake people doing fake things. And like, it's just, I really wonder if it just completely just destroys the fabric of society, really.
I was talking to Kelly the other day about the current state of YouTube and our videos, and just kind of I was expressing some kind of discouragement and frustration to her. I was like, I think that there's just so much stuff on YouTube now that we kind of came up in a time where there wasn't as much stuff on YouTube. So it was a lot easier for our videos to kind of get spread around and go viral. And that's harder now. And so I was like, I just don't, I feel like a lot of times we're doing content that would get spread around, but it doesn't anymore. That's a frustrating situation. And Kelly said, I think part of it is that you guys, I mean, Jordan a little bit more so, obviously, because I don't have any, but even still, we don't really have like a social media presence.
Yeah.
And it was honestly a little bit encouraging to me, because I was like, I mean, if I knew that would work, if I knew that's what it took, I don't think I would do it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people reach out to me who do meme pages and stuff like that, and they're like, "Man, you guys need to have like a Blimey Cow Instagram account where you kind of like make content where it's like these meme content, like we watched the church chat guy, like stuff like that where we make." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if I have a desire to do
right. It's not. It doesn't come second nature to do that, and that's what I told Kelly. I said, I don't think I would do that. One, because I don't think it's healthy for me, but I also don't think it's healthy for anybody. So why would I want to contribute to that attention economy?
Exactly.
It's and the final thing I told her, which is funny based on what you're saying, is like, why can't you just just watch a video and that be it. You know, you just enjoy a video and then just move on with your day. It doesn't have, you know, because Kelly's point was, well, you know, you follow a creator and they'll like say, hey, I got this new video out and I'm doing this. I'm like, what would I even do? Like I'm either I'm either editing or I'm playing with the kids.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm gonna be holding the kids. All right, now cry. You know, like that crazy.
Yeah,
clip
exactly.
We watched,
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Trying to get them to perform in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Like these sick, perverted parents.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's always whenever I talk to Sarah about stuff like that. I know that's like the answer is to make a more of a presence in other places. That's how. That's almost just how you have to do it. You want to be in people's feeds constantly,
right?
So that they are constantly thinking about you. And I'm just like,
I don't want people always thinking about me.
Yeah, I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I would almost rather not do it and have to come up with something else to do.
That's
than
what
to have to do that.
what I say too. I'm like I love doing this stuff, but when we don't have to worry about video views anymore,
oh yeah,
I won't like miss that part of it. I would certainly miss making videos. I don't think I'll ever stop making videos.
Yeah.
But the YouTube part of it,
yeah,
I won't miss that hustle and bustle like one bit.
Yeah,
at all.
And it was different again back when we were first starting. It was different because people didn't spend their lives on YouTube. That was just kind of starting, but it was weird if somebody was just watching YouTube constantly. It was like, we're doing school, like what's going on here?
Yeah,
distracting you with videos. It's like that wasn't happening very often. Maybe like one person was doing that, and everybody else was trying to like be productive in their lives.
Yep.
And now it's so you would. So all that to say, back then, if you watched a video, it impacted you.
Right.
Now you watch 100,000 videos and you can see somebody just sitting there scrolling past something, just like even if it was a good video, it's like they just off to the next thing. So it's just kind of a bad environment.
That is so
it's
true.
It's a bad environment.
And I think that's why I get really excited about the idea of running like a supporter community and doing all that stuff. Because to me, it's like that's actually at the risk of sounding like, okay, now I'm going to sell you something.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. But I'm just trying to say personally from my perspective,
that's a much healthier
It's about a connection.
Yeah.
I would rather focus on, if I have to focus on one thing or another, I would much rather focus on creating a community of actual connection
and not trying to get hundreds of millions.
Not just trying to get tons of, because if we got all those views, well, then we could probably get a bigger supporter community. But I would rather, it's like, okay, or I could just invest years trying to do that and things keep changing and I'm just getting older and it's not going to work out. So how can I just cultivate the little garden I have?
Because at the end of the day, me and you, we don't really like posting online in a way. We like the connection with human beings.
Right.
That's why we like meeting people that will actually watch our videos. That's why we like doing all these different things. The playing chess with people that watch our videos, like trying to make friendships with them.
Yeah.
I mean, some of my best friends to this day are people that started off from watching our videos, and now it's like weird. That's like what we got friends because you watched our videos. That's so 10 years ago.
Those are the people on a daily basis I probably chat with the most.
Yeah. And so we're kind of trying to go back in some way.
Yeah,
we're trying to go back to where it's like that connection, and everybody would say this, that YouTube back in the day was more connection based. Yeah. It's not like that
community
anymore.
Based.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore.
Right.
And everybody would say that.
Right.
So we're trying to do both in some way. Make YouTube videos, but try and get it off of there to actually have the connection in the community.
Yeah.
Which is difficult to do these days.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah. And, a lot of it is just that there's so much content now. Like, I get from YouTube's perspective, like, what are they supposed to do? There's so much stuff being uploaded.
How do they possibly? That's why they say you need to niche down and just do one thing over and over and over again. You'll see the same person cooking the same mushrooms in the same way every single day on Instagram.
Then you're just gonna go crazy.
Exactly.
Like, what are you, just a little cog in the machine? Like this? I just do this thing over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, how is that sustainable? I think that's what I'm saying. Like, how is that sustainable over the course of 10 years?
It's not. And God forbid you ever change what you're doing.
Right, you just turn into a slave.
Yeah,
you literally turn into a slave to the algorithm.
Yeah,
and you can't stop because you don't want to lose the money or the followers. You don't want to lose your 50,000, 60,000 followers. It's just a terrible.
It really is not healthy.
No,
not at all. It really isn't.
We're all slaves to.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like this weird spot of feeling incredibly blessed to get to do what you do, but also sort of recognizing that you are navigating a very, very unhealthy situation and trying to find the healthiest way to navigate it.
Exactly.
It is very interesting.
I'm excited for your next section, Josh. Pet peeves. What is this?
Get ready for this.
I'm wondering if I'm going to know exactly what you're talking about with this.
It's not the video that I'm going to show you. The video is indicative of what I'm talking about, okay? Tell me if you can kind of pick what it is about this that is irritating.
The entire journalism
knew that it was gonna
industry
be
is
this.
basically in
Did you
a
really?
free
Yeah.
fall. Today, the Los Angeles Times laid off 115 employees. They wiped out their entire DC bureau in an election year. They laid off...
Now, we don't have to watch this whole thing. But first off, great news that she's trying to trying to
break
push as
here.
bad news.
It's their whole. It's like they're trying to connect with you by showing, hey, look, I've got this little dinky microphone.
Thank you.
I'm so connecting to you.
I'm glad
Yeah.
that you knew what I meant. Why do they hold the lav? The point of the lav is that you clip it on. And then you see these kids that are like trying to whisper in their room so their parents don't hear. And they're wearing the
AirPods.
not AirPods, the earbud,
yeah.
the bud. That's important
it's gotta
because it's
have
got
the
the
mic.
wire with the little mic. And so you're talking like this into the mic. But it's like it's an aesthetic. It's not like an actual.
Yeah.
I shared this frustration with Kelly the other day. She said, "Well, I think sometimes people hold it so that it doesn't like rustle." And I'm like, "Yeah, but then it's going like this the whole time we're talking."
Yeah. That's what
drives
she's
me
doing.
freaking up
Yeah.
the wall.
I've never heard anybody say it. It's always annoyed me.
And she's got an actual like professional lav
know,
mic. Why is she doing this?
It is weird. And then they throw up these random clips constantly that you can barely even read, and then they act like super professional, like they've come up with this amazing video. But it's like, you're trying to sound professional.
Do you get
but
paid
you're-
to do this stuff on TikTok? I can't
I don't
imagine
know.
putting this
I've
much
never even been
effort
on
into
it.
something that's going to just get. I mean, obviously this went viral, but normally something like this is just gone in a day or something. Like you just spend all that time on it.
I don't know, man. I think that a lot of people go viral on TikTok. I truly think that if I put stuff on TikTok, I could come up with stuff to do on there.
You should-
I think it would get. I bet I could get hundreds of thousands of views.
You
on
should
there.
just say for 1 month, I'm just going to try it and see after 1 month. And then, at worst, you just make a YouTube video saying this was my experience trying to go viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
And you could make a really interesting, heck, you could make an if-then episode about that.
That's
too.
true.
That would be pretty interesting. And then you would know. And then I would know.
And I say that not that because I'm talented, but because I think that they actually try to hook you. Like TikTok
Right.
specifically, it's like, hey, make up views.
Yeah.
Say he got 60,000 views.
Yeah.
Just put the bots on it to watch it. And then you're like, oh my God, you get this high of, what's the next thing I'm gonna do? Then they do it again and again. Then they make you have less views. Then you're like, oh my God, I have to do more. I literally believe that they do that to enslave you. I don't think that it's actually real.
Yeah.
There are people who that I know who are creators who really do have followings and they really are talented. But the majority of these people who are out here and they are going viral constantly, I think it all started with them being hooked like a drug. They're making crappy content, but they're sending bots to go watch this stuff.
Yeah.
And if you watch these videos where it's the people who have created these tools, as they say, to get people to stay on Instagram.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Not like when we were kids, there was nothing. It's like, okay,
Right.
so a friend posted a status. It's in order. We can just watch, we can read their status. We can read the next status. They posted it 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
There was no you need to, other than like the red notification popping up that you got a message on Facebook or something like that. But it wasn't like it is now where they're literally manipulating the orientation of how you're reading a sad thing, then a happy thing, then a political thing. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that TikTok does that to like the extreme.
Yeah.
And it's just, and they're faking views and stuff, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
And
I've
then
never really been on it, though.
Everybody thinks they're a little news reporter
Yeah.
holding their. It's almost like you're holding the mic, and that's a way of saying, "Hey, this is my news report.
I'm one of you.
I'm one of the people, but I'm also going to educate you now."
Well, I don't know this, but the first time I ever saw this, and I could be completely wrong with this, but the first time I personally ever saw this, and when I saw everybody start to do it, is when a guy, named Ryan something. I can't remember his name. But he did a thing on YouTube where you guys know what I'm talking about. But he did a thing where he tried to cross the country with just 1 penny, and then he would buy something with a penny and then sell it and get more money. He did that. And he did that with the earbuds and the thing because he was out on the road doing this. And he was like, and it was funny because his whole shtick was, I'm going to do what kind of stuff like Mr. Beast does with no money.
Yeah.
And he went crazy viral.
Yeah.
And so after that, I've noticed a ton of people doing that same thing. His was kind of like a funny joke.
Yeah.
That was self-aware to the fact that he was doing this.
Yeah.
Because he was like, hey, look, I have no money. I have 1 penny. I'm using this thing.
Yeah.
And I saw everybody do it after that. Like, unapologetically, this isn't a joke. This is like her weirdly, she's like 37 and she's like wearing her hat backwards or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. People will come and be like, no, they do it because this. They're going to explain to it. We're going to get educated. We're going to get lav mic'd educated.
I need the education. Thank you.
To understand why lav mics have been used wrong all these years and you're actually supposed to hold it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
It gave me hope, Josh. We need this.
Here we go. All right, Jordan. So on Friday, a week ago, nearly, when we were launching supportblimeycow.com, doing the switch, like trying to basically get everybody that was on Patreon to switch over to our website.
Yeah.
It took a tremendous amount of effort for us to kind of make it as easy as possible. And then it did go well. But before it went super well, there was a moment where it was just all the emails had been sent out, everything, the to-do list was done, and I was just standing there looking at the computer screen like, I feel like I've just been thinking about nothing but this for the last week or two.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what to do with myself. And you know that feeling when you finish a project, but then it's sort of like out there and it's not up to you anymore?
Yes.
And you feel like, well, then I guess I need to keep working on this until I start seeing results.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just had this very interesting experience. It was kind of funny, where I went onto the Community website for the few people that were there already.
That had joined.
Yeah. And I was literally in the middle of writing a post that said, well, I got it all launched, and now I don't know what to do with myself. Haha. And then Mom calls me. The boys, it had been weeks since the boys had spent the night over at Mom and Dad's house.
Yeah.
And they were over at Mom and Dad's house spending the night. And so Mom texted me or called me while I was in the middle of writing that post and said, hey, just wanted to let you know that Isaac has a really bad stomach ache and is not feeling very well or whatnot. And so I talked to Isaac on the phone. He wanted to come home, and I was like, well, I'll come pick you up, buddy. And so I got off the phone with them, and I went back and I saw what I was writing about. Like, I don't know what to do with myself, and I was like, oh. It felt like I was being given permission to say, hey, you got this launched. Now go be a dad.
Yeah.
Go be dad now. Which, it's a tough thing when you're a parent, and I'm sure people that have kids kind of know what I'm talking about, where it's like you want to spend time with your kids, but you also know you need to focus on work so that your kids have, you can have time to spend time with your kids.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's really not much else to it than that. It was just, I remember growing up, Dad sharing with us that at some point he felt like that God had said, told him, just raise your kids. Don't worry about other things. Just raise your kids. And once I had kids, and I always remember him saying that. But then once I had kids, I understood, that's why I get why that is a meaningful thing to Dad. That's a story that he always told us, because that you don't think about it until you have kids, but that's a hard thing to just focus 100% on your kids, because you feel like you need to be providing for them too.
Yeah.
When you really do just want to spend time just hanging out. So anyway, so it was just kind of a funny, it felt like a little haha God reminder.
Yeah.
Just to say, this is going to take care of itself. You did as good a job as you can do. You guys are doing fine.
Yeah.
Just go pick up your son, spend the rest of the day hanging out with him. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, so that, yeah.
That you were writing out the question, and then the answer was given to you in a phone call.
Yep, that's
It's
right.
interesting.
That's exactly right. It was very, very funny timing. So that meant a lot to me, and I've tried to remember that throughout the week when as we've worked through this launch, and it really helped that the launch went so well.
It did. That did help. This story wouldn't have been nearly as
I know, it was
impactful.
like, and then nobody joined, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna help take care of my sick son, and this went terribly. No, it went really well, but that acted as a reminder too. It's like, look, you can only do as much as you can do, and you're
Yeah.
doing a great job. It's fine.
I don't really have anything that gave me hope today, Josh.
Did I give you hope when I told you that
That
story?
did give me hope, though.
Okay,
So we'll
good.
go with that one.
Good. Hey, we have a couple things to recommend. I'm excited about both of these things. Let's
Yes,
talk about it.
okay. I've been watching. Well, I mean, I've been following this for a long time, but it's a specific bike race in the United States that is called gravel racing, which is wildly popular. I've told you about it, but it's very, very wildly popular here in the United States, and it's starting to pick up steam in other countries a little bit. But the United States is kind of like the people who have created this type of racing. Cycling in the United States has kind of died. It has been dying a slow death for like 10, 15 years, ever since, once the whole Lance Armstrong thing started happening and it was like all fake. I'm not saying that started anything, but just kind of that kind of timeline, it's just kind of been dying. The Tour of Colorado or whatever it's called, that's gone. The Tour of California is gone. There was one in the like another state that's gone. All these things have been just slowly dying. And so there's kind of been this void, this power void of like, well, what's going to happen? Because people don't do mountain biking, like racing. They do. I'm not saying they don't do that, but that's not like, you're not watching that on, very few people are like tuning into that on YouTube to watch this. Some would, but like compared to Europe, I mean, this stuff is just huge.
Yeah.
The Tour de France is the most watched sport event outside of the World Cup. Like it
Is that
gets
right?
more views than the World Cup.
I didn't know that.
It's crazy. Yeah. Billions of people watch the Tour de France.
I didn't know
Billions. Yeah. So, but in the United States, it's not, none of this stuff is popular. Europe, they love this stuff. Cyclocross, mountain biking, road, it's like all that they do over there is like that. But here, for some reason, it's not popular. It's never been popular and it's never going to be popular. But gravel racing has kind of been this American version of cycling, which kind of, it's just so classic American, how America kind of takes a bunch of different stuff, takes the best parts of everything, puts it together and makes one new thing.
Yeah.
And then, other countries might do it or might not do it, but we've like innovate. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So they've taken the best of mountain biking, the best of cyclocross, the best of road racing, and they've put it all together into gravel. And they kind of go to these flyover states,
Yeah.
Kansas, Wisconsin, places like this. Not to offend anybody, but what people
These
would
are
consider
places
flyover.
people fly over.
But they fly over them, and they just have these massive races where they just go on all these back gravel roads, and like it's raining, it's muddy. Guys are like having to walk their bike for a mile maybe, but it's all self-supported. If your bike breaks, you are the one who fixes it. You've got like it's very, very cool, and it's getting wildly popular. Like over the past 3 years, it has really, really gained popularity.
That's cool.
So there's a YouTube channel that I wanted to recommend called Lifetime Grand Prix. And this is kind of like the premier gravel racing scene. They have 7 races during the year, and whoever gets the most points, for getting first, second, or third, or whatever. I mean, I think it goes deep. Like maybe the top 10 or 20 get points. I'm not quite sure.
How many guys are involved in the race?
I think it's like 30 professionals, and you have to be like invited to this thing to do it. But then it's gotten so big, and it didn't always used to be this way, I don't think. But you used to be able to just go to, like, I could just go to this race and actually ride it too. I would be like 10 minutes behind these professionals, but I would be able to ride the exact same course that they did. And when I say professionals, some of them really did do world tours and stuff like that over in Europe and things like that. But some of them are people who have just gotten really good on their own. They've maybe ridden a lot, but they're like good at gravel, and so
Yeah.
they're like riding with these guys who have like, and they're winning and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's neat. I can't wait to. You sent me this link the other day. and
Yeah, I did,
really
and
wanna
I
watch it.
was showing you season 1 because that was last year's, where there was I think
Okay.
only 6 races. Now they've added another race, and right after I sent that to you, they posted season 2. They just posted all
Okay.
of the races all at once.
Oh, cool.
And there's the women's races too, which I really enjoy watching the women's cycling. I enjoy women's sports when it comes to tennis and it comes to women's cycling.
That's funny. Yeah,
Very,
the women's sport that I am the most into, as well as tennis.
yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't know why. It's those are the 2 sports, but
Yeah.
they do a great job with the YouTube series on Lifetime Grand Prix. I think it's called it's literally just called Lifetime Grand Prix. Like
Okay.
I think it would be
check-
season
I
1
can
and
check
season
this
2. So yeah, check it out. They do a
Cool.
great job with it.
I'm not gonna recommend a board game every week on We Recommend.
Is this a board game?
It is.
Oh, so you are.
I am today, but I'm not gonna
I
keep
got
doing
you.
this.
I thought
okay?
this was going to be like a book.
Nope, it's a game called Fiction. Jordan,
Ooh.
they put Wordle into a box.
Really? Now that is fun. Sarah would love this.
Yes, it's okay. So basically,
She still does Wordle. I don't.
I don't do it every morning, but I do it sometimes. This game is really, really good. Kelly and I were very surprised when we played it. So basically, do you remember that game Mastermind?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what Wordle is kind of based around. Where it's
Oh,
like-
you're right.
But imagine if in Mastermind, every time you made a guess, I had to give you a lie. Like I had one of the pieces of you knew that one of the pieces of information I gave you was not true.
Was fiction.
That's fiction. That's how this game is. So every time you guess a 5-letter word, I have to tell you, right letter, wrong place, right letter, right place. But you know that exactly one piece of information I'm giving you is a lie.
Okay.
And so I'm called the librarian.
Okay.
And I'm giving you so you have 10 chances to figure out what the word is. And I think like twice per game, you're allowed to basically point to a letter and say, is this fact or is this fiction? And I have to be honest with you about if I'm lying. So I have to be very careful because if I've been lying to you about the same thing over and over again and you say, is that a lie? It is. Okay, so I know all these other things are true
Yeah.
because that was the lie.
That's cool. That's a fun game.
Fiction, really good. I love fun games in small boxes. I wish that all
That
the
is
games
nice.
I had were big fun with small boxes.
Yeah.
Fiction is one of the best ones we've found. So and that's one. I think that last week I talked about Planet Unknown. That game is a little hard to find right now. Fiction is like $20. It's a nice, easy game, cheap to pick up, and lots of enjoyment, lots of fun.
Josh, we're at the end of the episode. Some of our the community,
Yeah.
they're going to move in to Nashville.
Oh right,
And-
I heard about this.
And
You
he
told me.
rides bikes, and we've ridden bikes before. Speaking of joining the community, and then we actually like to do stuff with these with people. He reached out to me a while ago, like maybe 2 years ago. God, has it been 2 years ago now? And he was like, "Hey, I'm kind of like." No, he was at Blimey Cow, and he said that he was staying in town, and I asked where, and he was like, "Oh, it's for work, and I'm staying in this area," and I was like, "Dude, that's like." I ride past that all the time. It's
Yeah.
like maybe 10 miles from my house, but I ride past it all the time. And so we were like, oh, dude, let's connect. So we got his numbers, and then, we rode with each other one day right before he was going to leave. He was going to have to leave because it was like I think it was an internship. He can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, so he got married. And I played chess with his wife.
Another person in the community.
In the community.
Yeah.
And me and her played chess together with the group of people on there. And we just played the other day, and she won. It was 4-player chess.
Nice.
Just pure chaos. Very fun, though. And so then I connected with him again. I was like, dude, we need to, ride again, whatever. Told him about gravel riding, and he was like, I'm actually in town. Like, we're moving to Nashville. So hopefully they move close.
That's
to
awesome.
us.
How exciting.
Yeah.
They're very nice people. I can't wait to. Yeah, they
Great couple. Rides
Yeah.
bikes and plays chess. The two things I like to do.
Hey, you know what? Actually, she messaged me on the community site right before the switchover, and she was like, am I going to lose all my DMs and stuff? And I was like, I don't think so, but please screen cap them just in case I'm wrong. So then when the site went live, before I posted about it,
Timothy was the first one to join the page, and I think
I
it's
noticed
because
that.
he was worried that, and so I messaged him and I was like, oh good, so because I had my old DMs with him. I was like, okay, good, so the DMs are here. He said, yeah, the DMs are here. I was like, okay, good, because they met in the community and they had a lot of their conversations, their chats were in our. I hope they don't mind us sharing this. I don't think they will. So, anyways, it's a very special place.
I noticed that he was like the first one to
He
join,
was the
so
very
I
first
was
one.
funny.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah,
cool. So yeah, hopefully we get to ride together. Hopefully, see, I want to do one of these races. Oh yeah, what I was saying with the Lifetime Grand Prix, Josh, at the end of the episode,
Yes.
it always runs long. I was saying that you could join.
Yeah.
But now there's so many people who want to
Right.
do it. You have to go into a lottery where you just say, "Hey, I want to join," and they might email you or not. So you could do that for 10 years and never get in.
Wow.
Like because they have like thousands of people who
Well,
do this thing.
maybe it'll become like a new like tour day type thing where they do multiple ones.
Yeah, maybe one day would be for everybody. It doesn't matter how many people are out there, and then the next day is for like the professionals. Maybe that's what.
Or
they'll
maybe
do.
like a different. I mean, they don't own a copyright on the idea, the concept. So other people could run their own different places or something.
That's true. That's true. Anyways, well, that's
Cool.
it. I guess we're done.
That was a fun one. Thank you for all for watching. We'll be back here next Friday with an all-new episode of the podcast. I can't wait to find out how many of you hate democracy next week or love democracy. I guess we're going to
interesting to
find
know.
out. All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.